Right, so again, I'm going to create a table with two student name and their scores, and I'm going to look up, use VLOOKUP to enter the name of two students. Then it's going to pull just that two student score, and we're going to plot this chart, right, to compare the score between two students. Alright, so I can use Format Painter to help on the format of the title. Now, how would I do this formula here? So it's pretty much the same formula, except the lookup, instead of student name right here, I name it student name. Like for some of you, you may use the cells, right? E2 or something that I shown you. You can actually, instead of name N3, I can actually click on and change the name to student name 2, right? Because the other one is student name, right? So to make it more consistent, so I'm going to name student name 1 and name 2. Then I need to update this to student name 1 too, right? And after I update, I can just drag it down because it's pretty much the same formula, except the lookup values have to be named too. NA, that's fine because we don't have the name there yet, and I need to copy the formula by dragging it right here. So now I should be able to enter the student name for the second student. Let's say we want to compare to Christopher. So I get the Christopher score right here, right? Now I have the data ready. I need to plot the chart. How do we plot the chart? We can go to highlight the table, because this is the easiest way to do. Select the table that you want to plot the chart, including rows and column name, and then go to insert. You need to pick the right data, right chart to represent the data. So what would be the good chart? Bar is good. See that we have an example show up, right?
Wait, what did you, for the chart, where did you find that?
Insert. Go to insert tab. After you highlight, you have to highlight or select the whole table. Go to insert and just pick the chart, and then by just move your mouse over, it gives you an example chart for you, right? And then you can pick the one that make more sense to you, right? Like if you look at bars telling you here, you can see Christopher did pretty good on assignment 9, right? Than Abby, right? But Abby did better in A1, right? Than Christopher. So this is not a bad chart, so I select it. And then you're going to have the style that you can use. It's going to switch to the design ribbons, where you can make your chart looks more like colorful. Right, you can pick the template right there. And the title, we can always change the title. Right, so we can say score or scores between two students, right? And actually I can do even more than this. I can actually do like sometimes comparing the score between student to student is not really tell you much. But if I compare to the average of the class or average with all the college, right? Mean, median, something like that. So statistics here, then it can tell, right? Like where Christopher standing at, AB standing at, right? And then we can even do for the nationwide, right? Now, so we're going to create a control forms for Excel. We need the developer tab by going to File, Options. Alright, so just check the developer and then you should be able to see this app. Now you click on this tab. And then we have insert, right, under the controls group, right? This is form controls. Form control, ActiveX controls. So we can use form control here. Let's say I mean this one is one option that you can use. You can use any of this, okay? Any of this.
What's the difference between form and ActiveX?
In Microsoft, they have an ActiveX also. ActiveX is sometimes it's run on the web, okay? So we're going to create a cell as the list, like here, right? How do we do that? We're going to click on the cells, go to data, and data validation, pick on that, allow, you gotta pick, yeah, when you say allow, you gotta do list, and then source. This is pretty much just gonna pick a data sheet where we have, I'm going to including the average too. In this case, then we can compare, right? And then we click OK. Now we just make all the student name with the average too. Okay, so let's review again. Like if I want to make this to be the list, go to data validation, create the list, allow the list. You can say ignore blank in cell drop down, and I'm going to include this to include the average too. Enter. Make sure you do enter after you select that. Click OK, and then we get this, right, including average too. Now I'm going to just do reformatting this with a style, or just copy the format painter, and this is where you enter. We can just say this is where you're going to select. You can either do enter or select. Right, so this is using your list. Now, same thing, right? The rest is how you link back to your table. You just need to name this. Like now I use student name, right? Student name 1, student name 2. I can just say name 1 for this one, and then name 2, and then instead of looking up from entering, now I'm going to look up from selecting, right? So just changing this to name 1, right? And this is going to be same name 2. Now, yeah, we can just copy the data to the left and the right because the format should be the same, right? We already learned why it's the same because column increasing, range is the same range. Now I'm going to test by selecting, I want to see Christopher, his assignment score show up compared to the average score of the students. Right. Okay, so now why it's not showing up? Because of your range, right? Because I just include the average. So I have to fix it on my name manager. And the range is score data. I need to include the average too. You see, it's not selecting average, right?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why. So enter, now it should update with the average. So Christopher doing good. Only assignment 1 that he has lower than the average. See that?